It's Mr. Prosperity back with another video. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how you could get over $150,000 in unsecured business funding in less than 30 days. The first thing that you need to have together is your personal credit. I don't care what you heard on TikTok. I don't care what you heard on YouTube. I don't care what you heard on Instagram. You need to have your personal credit intact, okay? Because here's the thing. You could get business funding for your business with bad credit, but it's collateralized. It's merchant accounts, things like that. And it comes with these ultra high interest rates. First off, with your personal credit, you need to make sure that you get it to over a 700 FICO score. So let's touch a little bit about personal credit before we get into the business funding. So how do we get to over a 700 FICO score if our credit's in the dumps? Well, rule number one is stop missing your payment. Make sure that you pay your bills and pay them on time. Put every single account that you have that's on your personal profile on auto pay. That way you never miss a payment. I'd rather have my bank account go negative before I miss a credit card payment. And here's why. If you miss a credit card payment, it's on your record on your personal profile for 2 years. If your bank account gets overdrawn, you pay the overdraft fee maybe in a week when you get your paycheck, and then you're back to normal. You just may have cost you a little extra money. However, it's not going to affect you for 2 years like missing a payment on your credit card. So that's number one. Don't miss any more payments. Let's get that straight. Promise me you're going to do that. The second thing that you need to realize is your utilization. It's okay to utilize your personal credit when you're not going for any funding, you're not applying for any credit. However, when you're getting ready to apply for credit, you need to make sure that your balances are down below 30%. What does that mean? If you have a $10,000 credit card, you want to make sure that your balances are below $3,000. And preferably, especially when you're going for large business lines, you want it to be 10%. So remember, if you can pay it down to 10%, do that because it will help you to get larger lines of business funding. And why do we want business funding? We can use credit cards to bootstrap our business and push our business forward. But here's the thing, all of that debt will be reporting on our personal profile. So now when we are highly leveraged on our personal profile, it's gonna make it harder for us to go and get more funding and go apply for more credit cards or more lines of credit and more loans and things of that nature that we need to push our business forward. However, when you have business funding, it never reports to your personal credit, okay? So let's get that straight. Once you have those business lines, you can pull a large amount from those lines and it will never affect your personal credit score. So this is why it's very, very important for you to get in position to get large business lines of credit. So get that utilization down and make sure no more late pays, okay? Also, it's not just about your credit score. It's about your credit profile on whole. Now, some of you guys are asking me like, why are we still talking about personal credit when you said this is business funding? Because here's the thing is, you have to leave a personal guarantee in order to get these unsecured lines. So what does that mean is they're gonna check your personal credit. They're gonna pull your personal credit. And what it is they wanna know, are you a stand-up guy or girl? How do you pay back your bills? They wanna see who you is. They don't know about your business yet. Maybe you just started your business. And here's the thing, forget the myth that you heard that you need to be in business for 2 years or longer. That's BS. I've helped clients get over 100K and their business has only been open for 8 months. 8 months. So you can do this with a brand new business. But if you do it with a brand new business, they're gonna rely heavily on what you look like personal. So that's why it's very, very important to listen to what I'm telling you. Now, when we talk about your credit profile as a whole, you need to have revolving accounts on there. A revolving account is where you have credit cards, like regular credit cards. Those are revolving accounts, meaning you put a balance on it, you pay it off, and it goes back, it keeps revolving. You need to have a certain amount of installment accounts on there. So installment account is like a loan. So they want to see all of that. They want to see a mixture of what that credit profile looks like, and they want to make sure that you have a solid profile. So get that together first, then we can start on the business funding. So now once all of that's done, you got that together, you got your score up, you're above a 700. So what happens next? Well, next, you're going for your business funding. So first of all, you need to make sure your business is in compliance. Now this could get really, really deep, but I'm just gonna touch on the major points. The first thing is you need a legal entity. What is a legal entity? Well, we're talking about an INC, like a corporation, or an LLC, which is a limited liability company. An entity is basically separating your business from you. It's its own separate entity. It's its own person. In fact, here where I live in California, there was a gentleman that was driving in a carpool lane by himself, got pulled over. It was a big case. It made headlines in the news because he got pulled over and he had his corporate documents in the front seat, his business entity documents in the front seat. So police pulled him over and said, "You're getting a fat ticket because you have nobody with you in this car and you're driving in a carpool lane." He said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, cop. No, I have my business documents right here in the front seat. It's a separate entity, therefore it's a separate person. I belong in this carpool lane. It says 2 or more, there's 2 or more." And he said no, and gave him a ticket. He fought the ticket, went to court, and won the case because this is a separate entity. So you want to separate your business from yourself. And there's a few reasons why to do that, not just for credit. Number one reason, for protection. Okay? You don't want anybody who has a problem with your business and want to sue your business to go after you personally. Now, to determine what's right business for you to set up, it's best to talk to an accountant. Whether you want to set up a limited liability company or corporation, that depends on what state you're in, how the taxes apply in that state, the protection that it provides, because every state is different where you set your business up at. A specialist that really understands that, they're the best person to talk to that. However, once you get your entity set up, well, next, you need to go get a bank account. The clock starts ticking once you open up that bank account. So you want to go get that business bank account. But here's the thing. When you go get that business bank account, you have to know what you're telling those people at the branch. For example, when I started one of my businesses, right? I'm heavy into real estate and I opened up a new business and I'm all pumped up when I'm getting ready to start real estate and I'm just getting into the business and I'm so excited, and I sit down with the lady and I tell her everything I'm doing in the business and what I'm doing, and she's asking me all these questions about okay, so what kind of real estate? What are you doing? I'm telling her how I'm gonna flip these houses and doing all this great stuff. And guess what? My business got flagged. My business got red flagged by the business bureaus. Do you know why? Real estate is high risk to the creditors, especially what I was doing, flipping properties. Banks look at it as speculative real estate. You can get a lot of money for your real estate deals as long as it's collateralized by the real estate itself, meaning they're gonna put a lien on the property. They love that because they want to take that real estate back, resell it, things like that. However, when I'm trying to go for unsecured funding or just going for a bank account in general, they put you in that high risk category. So now when I go for unsecured funding, it really put a stain on my business and really hurt me. Okay, so I learned all of this the hard way. So you don't have to repeat the same mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes. So learn from other people's mistakes. Success leaves clues. Now, what are some businesses that are not high risk? Well, if you're in the real estate field, property management is not high risk. Business management and consulting is not high risk. What if you were to start a business management company and that business management company owns the real estate companies or other high-risk businesses like restaurants? Restaurants are high-risk business. Another business that I've been involved in. You want to make sure that when that banker's asking them questions, they're putting you in a low-risk category. Because when they're behind that computer and they're asking, so what do you do? So what does this business do? Tell me a little bit more about this business. They're not asking you because they're interested in your business. They're asking you because of the NAICS code that they're going to categorize your business. And in turn, this is going to transfer over to Dun & Bradstreet. What Dun & Bradstreet is, or DNB, is one of the business credit bureaus. It's one of the largest business credit bureaus. So you have Dun & Bradstreet, you have Experian Business, and you have Equifax Business, which used to be the Small Business Finance Exchange. So these are the 3 main bureaus that creditors look at your profile on here to determine whether you should qualify for funding. Once you got your bank account open up, you need to have a phone system. You need to have an address separate from your home address or anything else. Now, first thing that people do is, okay, if I can't use my home address, I'm gonna go open a P.O. box. That's the worst thing you could do. Don't open a P.O. box. Oh, well, forget that. I know where I could get a street address. I'll go to the UPS store and open up a UPS store address. Wrong thing to do. All of that will get your business flagged. We're in 2023, and they could just go on the computer, Google the address and see that it's a UPS store. They'll know when it says P.O. Box something that it's a P.O. Box. So that's not the right thing to do. Now, here's a solution that you can utilize. if you don't have the money for a brick and mortar office, I mean an actual physical location, because you don't want to use your home address. And there's a few reasons why you don't want to use your home address. Forget credit. What if you have a disgruntled customer that just want to come knock on your door where your children are playing? You don't know, there's a lot of crazy people out there. So separate your business from your personal as soon as possible. Now, here's your solution. A virtual office. Well, here's the thing though. Not all virtual offices are created equal. And what I mean by that, you might utilize a virtual office and it will get flagged in the system as a virtual office. Now, there's secrets on how to pick the right virtual office. And I'm going to do a whole video about that. But I'm going to give you one tip. Make sure there are other brick and mortar businesses at that location. As long as there are other brick and mortar businesses at that location, they will not be able to determine whether that's a physical brick and mortar address or a virtual address. However, there are some virtual addresses where it's just a mail drop, where everybody there is just a mail drop. That's going to get you flagged. Ask me how I know. I've been through it, teaching you from my mistakes. Your phone system. Stop doing business from your phone. I have a buddy who's a real estate investor, and he's like, hey Dave, can you help me get business funding? I said, sure, let's look at your profile. And I'm looking, and he's using his cell phone on everything he's doing. In fact, this guy had billboards in a city, and he's in one of the largest cities in America, with his cell phone plastered on a billboard off the freeway. Not the smartest idea to do. You don't use your cell phone in this business. A good phone system you can utilize is Ring Central is one. Grasshopper is another one. Why did I mention those two? These actually report to the yellow pages. They report, so when people Google your number, it comes up, okay? And you need something like that, because when they start Googling, you want a whole profile online. Somebody punches in your business in Google, everything to come up. You want that, and you could do that right on Google. One thing I forgot to mention is an EIN, but that's common sense. Get your EIN from the IRS. Your EIN is basically your business's social security number. That's your business's number. You're gonna need that. So as soon as you set up that entity and you get that entity together, your very next step is the EIN. Next step, well, you're gonna need a good email address and a good website domain, web address. My business is Selvin Financial, for example. So say if you're Selvin Financial, you don't wanna be selvinfinancial@gmail.com. You want dselvin at Selvin Financial, or you want, Dave at Selvin Financial, or Mr. Prosperity at Selvin Financial. Something, but notice the at selvinfinancial.com. And you want that. You want selvinfinancial.com. And when I say that, you want to look polished. You could go on Fiverr, you could go on Upwork, and you can have somebody from another country create you a website for little or nothing in this day and age, okay? It does not take a lot of money to do this, but it's going to make you look that much better online. You got to think, they're loaning you this money. They want to make sure their money's protected. So they're going to look into you. So you need to make sure that you follow these steps accordingly. Another thing is, if you have it, not everybody has it, but this will help you a lot better, is if you have the money, keep a minimum of $10,000 in your business account for a minimum of 3 months. That will give you what's called a low 5 bank rating. Now, when you do that, it makes it that much easier for the banks to approve you for funding. Now, how do we go for the funding? I'm gonna give you a quick secret. Open up your computer, open up a bunch of different tabs, and you're gonna go to a bunch of different banks at one time. And you'll fill out the applications all at the same time. But then when you hit submit, you hit submit, 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 all at the same time. The reason you're doing that is so that way the hard inquiry that you'll get on your personal profile, because you will get hard inquiries for applying for funding, those hard inquiries won't show to the other one just yet, because you're hitting them all at the same time before they hit. A little secret sauce right there. And you apply for 10, you might get approved for 5. And those 5 might add up to 150,000. So here's the thing, it's called credit card stacking. What is that? You might get approved for 40 over here, 50 over here, 60 over here, 30 over here, 20 over here. But all of those cards collectively add up to $150,000. Now you're like, Dave, great, I got these credit cards, but what can I do with them? Well, that's where your imagination comes into play. Whatever you feel you could do with them, that's what you could do with them. Number one thing that propels a business forward is marketing. Without marketing, if nobody knows about your business, you don't have a business. So the number one thing you need funding for is marketing your business to get in front of people. The more people you could serve, the more people you could help, the more money you would make. Then you might need it just for some overhead. You might need to pay some bills, things like that. Great. Now, there might be some guys that are just like me who are real estate investors. And they're like, how do I use this to go for real estate? I can't put a house on a credit card. Oh, yes, you can. You sure enough can. Don't get this twisted. You sure enough can put a house on a credit card. But how do you do it? Because you can't just, when the title company sends you over that HUD statement and says, okay, you owe this money, they send you the wiring instructions and they want you to wire that money. How are you going to send that money from a credit card if it's a wire? Well, check this out. Plastic.com. You could create an invoice in there and send the money to them that way. That's one option. And there's so many different options to utilize this. And here's the thing, is that when you work with us at Sullivan Financial, we help you get business funding with 0% interest for up to 18 months. So what does that mean? If you're flipping houses like me, you have 18 months to flip that money before you even start paying on the money. So these are the benefits of how to know how to use business funding, business credit cards, business lines of credit for your business. Hey guys, gave you a little bit of information here. You want to learn more? Book a strategy session with me and my team. We would love to help you. We're here to serve you and we're here for you. We're here to help you meet your goals. And as always, if you love this video, hit that like button. And if you hate it, don't push nothing because y'all will see you. No, I'm just playing, guys. If you don't like it, hey, it is what it is. But I'm here to serve, man. I love you guys and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.